Hi, my name's Alex Spriggs. I handle the offshore operations here at Zupt along with a great team, and I just wanted to use this video to discuss timing requirements for metrology in general and just making sure that when we're looking at different methods to perform metrology, we're comparing apples to apples. I think CPINs as a metrology solution is really benefiting from the fact that we can get on site and get to work without a lot of lead time with ROV interfacing, as well as deployment of, say, transponder frames to depth. When we say we can do an inertial metrology between 6 and 10 hours, we're not subtracting out 6 hours of MOB to an ROV or 6 hours of transponders into tripods to deploy off the side of the vessel. We're talking about a RS-232 24-volt plug or connector rather that needs to go into the ROV. This is a single serial channel that's going to power both our CPINs and our digicords. So we will send an interface whip that's either terminated if ROV gives us the connection ahead of time, or we're going to send an unterminated whip that we can quickly make up with TX, RX, ground, and 24-volt power. And then we can get right to work. We're going to MOB to ROV, we're going to go off deck. Like any metrology, once we get down there, we're going to do a GVI of the structures. We're going to get the client to confirm we are where we're supposed to be. The hubs that we believe are properly identified. We'll get some screen grabs. But after the GVI, we can get straight to work. We don't put anything on the seabed. We're not waiting for a basket of transponders to come down. We didn't have to splice into the fiber ahead of time. We're at depth. We've plugged into our RS-232 port. We can take CPINs. And we can stab it into the receptacle at Hub A. But once we're in Hub A, we're going to align the sensor. So an inertial navigation system needs to be aligned once at depth. This process is going to take us just under an hour. ROV is going to manipulate the CPINs in 90-degree rotations. This is benefited from the fact that we have the Zupt rotating stab on the bottom that will secure itself every 90 degrees so that we have a visual identification and a feedback saying, you are at 90 degrees. This same rotation every 90 degrees, so you'll go 0, 90, 180, 270, and then back to origin, is the exact same rotations we're going to use for the HPR loops. So we're going to align, we're going to collect some heading, pitch, and roll data at Hub A, we're going to collect heading, pitch, and roll data at Hub B, and once we have our attitude values, which we are either going to deliver pitch and roll in the hub-to-hub azimuth if it's a vertical jumper, or if true heading is a deliverable, we'll deliver it at the heading of the hub. This would require a keyed receptacle, but we do this quite commonly for horizontal jumpers. Position loops are up next, and what we're going to do with position loops is we're going to take CPINs, we're going to take a fix at Hub A, we're going to pick up CPINs, ROV is going to transit over to Hub B, place it into the hub at Hub B, and we're going to take a fix. And we're going to repeat this by going back to Hub A to close the loop. That's considered a single position loop. We're going to get 6 of those within the tolerance that the client specifies. And then we're going to move on to the digicords work. It's all on the ROV. We're not coming back up. We're just going to use that same serial port that's connected to the CPINs. It Y-splices off so we can just break the digicords out. And we can collect our bathy measurements. This is all on one dive. We're going to use the digicords in its foot to go back and forth between the hubs for hub-to-hub depth difference. We're going to go from the hub to the mud line. That's going to get us the step heights from the hub to the mud line in front of A and B. And we're going to step the digicords route just so that we can have a profile of the seabed along the proposed jumper route. This might be a straight line between 2 hubs. This might be a complex horizontal jumper where we're using an overlay on the nav screen to make sure we're taking fixes where we should. But it's all in one dive. Once we've QC'd this data, we are QCing as we go along. So once we're done the HPR, we'll make sure that's okay. We'll move on to the position loops. We'll make sure that's okay. And then the last thing we're going to have to check before we come up and call it finished is the digicords work. That typically is only going to take about 10 to 15 minutes to get a green light on good data. Processing can follow, but at this point we can say, okay, ROV, you can come up. We're happy with the data. And that's the real benefit. And I don't mean to focus too much on the operational sequence, but I did want to outline the fact that we're plugging into a serial port. There's no fiber splicing. We're not sending a basket down with a whole bunch of transponders. We're getting to depth, we're getting to work, and then we're coming back up. That time being 6 to 10 hours should really be compared to all of the time it takes to deploy transponder frames to depth. Any sort of complicated MOB you have to an ROV that requires more than just a serial port should be factored in when you're comparing time to time. So that's what we're doing. NEC-PIN's metrology is following the very same sequence. I just hope that that gives you a little bit better of an idea as to what we're saying when we're giving you times and we're saying we can get right to work. Thanks so much.